I want to invite our presenter this morning, or today, or tonight, wherever you are, Mikael Lindback, all the way from Sweden. Today is Technology Thursday, so Mikael is going to enlighten us this morning. Mikael, this call is over to you.
Thank you, Patricia. It's a pleasure to be here again. So, as I usually say when we start up, welcome to this morning, as you say. And I need to remind you that it's hosted by the One Life Network in Caribbean because you're doing such a fantastic job. So today, what do we have for today? Technology for Humanity with my name. And this is one of my visions. So where did I start out? How was I getting to where I am today? Well, when I achieved my degree as a mechanical engineer, I turned to IT quite instantly, actually. Today, I have more than 20 years of experience in the field of IT. And, you know, today, we use technology in every step of our day, and we're also conducting business with the use of our devices. We are growing in the One Life concept and One Coin currency, where everything we do is connected to devices and online. It is now clear that we need to be more aware and acquire better knowledge about the devices and the systems we are using and how this may impact us in a good and a bad way. We all agree that knowledge is the biggest source of growth. And to grow, we need to know all the components of our business and lives to thrive. So technology for humanity. This is my vision. Everybody will be able to get the education they need to earn safely. You should be able to acquire it in another way, some way or another. That's important. Second part of my vision is the blockchain, of course. It's actually a modern day miracle invention. It's a paradigm. Unlimited uses potential for the people and business, which is very unique. So we have a unique time ahead of us. Technology. My vision is technology must help us. If technology isn't helping us, then it has no purpose in our world and should not be done. And finally, integrity. Every human on this planet shall have the right to choose their integrity online. As we mostly probably are aware of, this is not the case today. And it's disturbing, and I've been studying and working with this for 10 years, but it's getting more and more complex. But I'm also very grateful for my knowledge and experience that makes me the person I am in this field to work for a better future. Today, I'm going to start to show you a video from TED Talks, which is one of my favorite things, actually. So it's going to be a funny look at the unintended consequences of technology with Chuck Neese in 2019. Enjoy.
Future tech always comes with two things: promise and unintended consequences. And it's those consequences that I want to explore. And before we get to how future tech may affect us, I'd like to spend a little time exploring the unintended consequences of some of our recent tech, namely social media. Social media, a few short years ago, was the tech of future you. Now it just is you. Social media was supposed to bring us together in ways we could never imagine. And the predictors were correct. These three girls are talking to one another without the awkward discomfort of eye contact. I call that advancement. We were supposed to be caught up in a communication tsunami, the likes of which the world has never seen. And that did happen. And so did this. One of these things is not like the other. Now look at this picture. If you pick the guy with the book, you are wrong. Or as a certain president would say, wrong. Clearly, three of these guys are reading, and one guy on the end is listening to music and playing Candy Crush. So are we more connected, or are we just more connected to our devices? Social media was supposed to place us in a veritable town square where we could engage one another with challenging ideas and debates. And instead, what we got were trolls. This is an actual tweet that I received. Chuck, no one wants to hear your stupid, ill-informed political views. I hope you get leprosy and die. Love, Dad. Now, the great thing about that tweet, if you look at it, just like most trolls, it's not that bad, because he wished leprosy on me instead of leprosy, and leprosy is not dangerous at all. Along with trolls, we got a brand new way of torturing teenagers: cyberbullying. A concept that my 75-year-old mother just can't seem to wrap her head around. So did they hit him? No, Mom, they didn't hit him. Did they take his money? No, Mom, they didn't take his money. They put his face in the toilet? No, Mom, they didn't. Well, what did they do? They attacked him on the internet. Attacked him on the internet? Well, why don't you just turn off the internet? Your whole generation is a bunch of wussies. She's got a point. She's got a point. And I don't even want to talk about what social media has done to dating. I was on Grindr until I found out it wasn't a sandwich app. And I can't even tell you about Tinder, except for the fact that if you think that there is a limit to the amount of anonymous sex we can have on this planet, you are sadly mistaken. So where do we go from here? Well, let's just jump right in and play the hits. Driverless cars, something that has already been around for many, many years, just without the assistance of computers. Because for years, we have been driving while texting, putting on makeup, shaving, reading. Actually reading, that would be me. The other thing is that since driverless cars will be shared, most people won't own cars, and that means the DMV will go away. The DMV, I know what you're saying right now. There's no way this guy's going to stand up here and make a case for the DMV. Well, I don't know about you, but I do not want to live in a world where harsh fluorescent lights, endless lines, terrible forms to fill out, and disaffected, soulless bureaucrats remind me that I am pretty damn lucky not to work here. That is the real service they provide. The DMV. Come for the registration renewal. Stay for the satisfaction of knowing you made some pretty good life choices. Nobody will own their car in the future, and that means teenagers will not have a place to make out. So you know what that means? That means they will order driverless cars to do just that. I do not want to step into a vehicle and ask the question, why does this car smell like awkwardness, failure, and shame? If I want to ask that question, I'll walk into my own bedroom. So what else do we have to look forward to? That's right, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, yes. You know, there was a time when artificial intelligence was a joke. I mean, literally, a quip that you would hear at a cocktail party when somebody would bring it up in conversation. Artificial intelligence? The only real artificial intelligence is our American Congress. Well, it's not funny anymore. Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates have all gone on record expressing grave reservations about artificial intelligence. That's like Jesus, Moses, and Muhammad coming together and saying, guys, here's something we can all believe in. You might want to go with that, is all I'm saying. We are actually teaching machines how to think, how to understand our behavior, how to defend themselves, and even practice deception. What could possibly go wrong? The one thing is for sure, the creation always despises its creator, okay? The Titans rose up against the gods, Lucifer against Jehovah. And anybody who has a teenager has heard these words: I hate you and you're ruining my life. I hate you. Now just imagine that sentiment with a machine that can outthink you and is heavily armed. The result? Absolutely. What we need to do before we perfect artificial intelligence is perfect artificial emotions. That way, we can teach the robots or machines how to love us unconditionally, so that when they figure out that the only real problem on this planet is us, instead of destroying us, which, by the way, is totally logical, they will find us adorable, like baby poop. Oh my God, I just love the way you destroy the planet. I can't stay mad at you. You're so cute. You're so cute. Can't talk about this without talking about robotics, okay? Remember when you thought robotics were cool? I remember when I thought robotics were cool until I figured out that they were going to take everybody's place, from the delivery guy down to the heart surgeon. The one thing, though, that is very disappointing about robotics is the holy grail of robotics, and it hasn't even happened. I'm talking about the robot girlfriend, the dream of one lonely geek in a windowless basement who vowed one day, I am going to marry my creation. And there actually is a movement underway to stop this from happening for fear of exploitation. And I, for one, am against that movement. I believe we should have robot girlfriends. I just believe that they should come with a feminist protocol and artificial intelligence, so she can take one look at that guy and go, I am too good for you, I'm leaving. And finally, I have to talk about bioengineering, an area of science that promises to end disease before it even begins, to help us live longer, fuller, healthier lives. And when you couple that with implantable hardware, you are looking at the next incarnation of human evolution. And all of that sounds great until you figure out where it's really going. One place: designer babies, where no matter where you are on the globe or what your ethnicity, babies will end up looking like that. That boy is surprised because he just found out both his parents are black. Can you imagine him at a cocktail party in 20 years? Yeah, both my parents are black. I mean, it's a little awkward at times, but you should see my credit rating. Impressive, very impressive. Now, all of this seems scary. And everybody in this room knows that it isn't. Technology isn't scary, never has been, and it never will be. What's scary is us and what we will do with technology. Will we allow it to expose our humanity, showing our true selves and reinforcing the fact that we are indeed our brother's keeper? Or will we allow it to reveal our deepest, darkest demons? The true question is not whether or not technology is scary. The true question is, how human are you? Thank you.
Well, that was some words to say, and I couldn't give myself the credit to present it to you. He does it in such a great way. He's actually a stand-up comedian also. And I mean, it is amazing with all these inventions. But as he said, is technology good or evil? Well, technology is not. The question is us. So let's get on with that and talk about that further on in the presentation. I mean, we have a critical mass development today in the technology world. We have no way, no one on the world can control the development yet and what direction we'll take. I mean, we launched a rocket into space, it will reach a point of no return, which means they can't abort the launch. We have critical mass. critical point of no return. We are at a stage in development. We cannot go back and do over. We can only try harder to steer our boat in the best possible direction. I'm going to take up a couple of stereotypes, as you see here, you know, the geek and the money man and sort of thing. But this is kind of important, I think. So the geek, as I usually have said, is usually more fascinated by development of technology, which is interesting. Then how the technology will impact humanity and might be used by humans might not be the first thing that comes to his mind or her mind. The money man, quote to say, can spot the financial benefits of technology, but sometimes often forget the human value and the impact it can have on humanity. The scientist, great at understanding numbers, reading, learning, the theory, might not be able to see past his notepad or screen. The spiritualist is usually good at reaching high levels of consciousness, but then again may lack the practicability to teach other humans to see what he or she sees. These are, of course, stereotypes, very generalized. But if one of these stereotypes by themselves create and evolve, they will not be able to create a sustainable future with technology for humanity. The fact is that any of these personalities can possibly affect our technology development to turn bad. A little bit of AI. AI is a very interesting area, definitely. But of course, as he said, what can machines do when they learn and can do exactly what we can do? If we create a computer with the same capacity of learning and take action as we humans have, what are the possible outcome of that? It is not too difficult to multiply a computer's capacity 1,000 times. What have we created then? So I'm going to continue with the bad side for a while, but hold on. We have one report just a day ago. We have a couple of these coming on from time to time. So again, knowledge. Be critical in your thinking, read well, because this is what happens. And it's not the best way to use technology, but you know, this happens. This one came up a couple of days ago, I think it last week actually. And as you can see in the text, it's a website that mimics the onelife.eu website totally to fool our members to log in and take their password, getting sensitive data, and even the coins and your identification. So once again, think twice before you do things, and maybe you want to take a course in password management. Wouldn't be too bad. I'm going to put that one out soon. All right, so let's continue a bit further. Integrity online. Why do I use the word integrity? Yeah, once again, we should be able to choose our integrity. And what is integrity? Well, usually it's called privacy on the internet. We have all this talk about Bitcoin and privacy, anonymity. It doesn't have to be anonymous, right? We should be able to choose what we want to show or not to show. And as I said before, that's sadly not the case. Another video is coming up. Hang on.
We know that Google is tracking us. We agree to it when we set up our phones. So we wanted to figure out what exactly Google is learning about us throughout the day. So here's what we're going to do. We have two identical phones. The only difference between these two phones is this one is in airplane mode. Both of the phones lack a SIM card, and they haven't been set up to access any Wi-Fi networks. So for all intents and purposes, these phones have no connection to a data network. We're going to keep them with us throughout the day. And while I travel around DC, we're going to figure out just what Google is finding out about me.
Our first stop, Sim's convenience store, just outside our Fox Bureau, for a quick coffee. From there, we took a walk to the Capitol and took a quick walk around the Senate office buildings, and then decided to hop in a car and head around town.
Hello. We're going to the Children's Hospital, please.
To run our test, we had to do more than walk the block, so we took a tour around our nation's capital. First, due north to the Children's National Medical Center Hospital, then west to St. Albans School and the National Cathedral. Our tour around town was a 14-mile journey that lasted more than an hour. The entire time, the phones had no access to the internet.
Oh my goodness.
Not a Wi-Fi connection and not any cellular data service. It almost seemed quaint to assume that Google wouldn't even be able to collect data on me.
Let's head back to the bureau, my friend. Oh, that church is beautiful.
Google's business model is simple. Collect data on its users and then use that data to sell targeted ads. It's a business model called surveillance capitalism. But does that critical data collection work even when your phones aren't connected?
So we're back here at our Fox Bureau in DC, and we've got both of our phones exactly how we left with them. The only difference, really, I snapped a couple of bad selfies at the National Cathedral. But otherwise, they have stayed in my pocket for the entire day. So let's find out what they know. This is our man-in-the-middle device. It's basically a Wi-Fi network that these phones are going to connect to once we turn their Wi-Fi on. It's going to pass data through it on the way to Google. But on the way, we're actually going to get a copy of the same data that Google's going to get. We'll be able to decrypt it and then find out where we've been throughout the day.
Within minutes, the numbers rolled in. The phone that wasn't on airplane mode registered more than 100 locations, 130 activities, and even 152 barometric readings. As soon as it hooked up to our Wi-Fi, it transmitted 300 kilobytes of data straight to Google. The phone even logged our exact locations, tracking us all around town, the Capitol, the hospital, the school, and the cathedral.
Now you may notice what's missing here is the exact route that we took, but it got that data too. It knows when I got out of the car.
The metadata has a time log down to the very second, tracking everything when they think that you're walking, riding, and yes, even getting out of the car.
Okay, so you're thinking, this isn't a big deal, I'll just put my phone in airplane mode. Yeah, we thought of that too. This is the other phone that we had with us that no SIM card also remained in airplane mode the entire time. Let's see what kind of data it captured.
The phone with airplane mode activated actually logged more locations and activities than the other phone, and it also transferred hundreds of kilobytes of data to Google as soon as it was activated.
The only thing that's missing from this map is our stop at the Children's Hospital, but it still knows we were there. There it is. Exiting vehicle, 100% accuracy.
Through complicated user agreements and free software, Google gets users to sign away their privacy for nothing. They're even following you in the places that most people would expect total privacy: government buildings, a children's hospital, a private school, a church. Every move you make, every step you take, Google is watching you.
Well, not too pleasant to watch, I might assume. Still, this is where we are today. But we're going forward. Maybe we can do something, huh? So, but first again, we're going to start with integrity online. And once again, I think this is very important. I started studying this for 10 years ago, and I believe it's going to be one of the main courses in the future. I mean, we have reached a point today where it is not like they want to scan us or track us. It's abusive. And this is a very good reminder about the integrity we have lost by the tricks and trades of certain companies. And we also have a personal security issue. We are doing finance. Well, you might understand that could be connected in some dots somewhere. And like Chuck said in the beginning, social media stress. I mean, that's actually a very, very big thing. I mean, come on, we are working all the time. We're doing things. Of course, we need to work. We need to earn money. And this project we're working on, this movement, is very busy and needs to be maintained. Still, we are supposed to be answering and using and doing things immediately. That creates a stress that actually can make us do badly and feel badly and even do less good work. And that's also a point where it's good to have knowledge and where I want to get into, because you can actually build a system that supports you in your work, even this age. Or you can use combined systems that can help you, to aid you. I mean, I use dictation when I'm driving. I do some of my scripts, I do some of my mails, something. I just dictate with my headphones on to the phone. No hands, no typing, no recklessness, just typing with my voice. It is actually available on the Apple's default and on the Android in some other ways. What it talked about is the tracking, which I find is very disturbing. Because, I mean, we all know this, but it's to an extent where it's abusive. It is, I mean, come on, what do you feel about it? So maybe it's something we should consider to take a look at. What can we do? How can we move forward then? Yeah, the way to go. It's actually part of my vision, because we need to use technology, develop technology, to know about technology to support humanity. But it will require both IT knowledge and human consciousness. There is no way we can make it happen in a good way without it. I'm going to go further now, and we're going to get into this world we have. This is a map displaying 24-hour traffic of the internet. It's kind of interesting. And you might think this is a lot. This is 2013. There was a person that connected a device or an app. You can call it a virus, but it wasn't meant to be. A hacking software that checked every device possible connected to the internet in 2013. One of the things it tested was the default, sorry for that, was the default password for the device they found. It turned out that 420,000 devices used the default manufacturer's password. .NET, as it was called, installed itself on every device it could get access to. It's commonly said that in the IT world that the creator of .NET was not doing is to disrupt or use in a malicious way. It was created to show the world how vulnerable the online world is without the right knowledge. Right. So going forward, we have the blockchain, this new thing. So what is it? Well, my focus is on the blockchain technology and how we can use the blockchain to improve our lives and financial success. The blockchain is the next huge step in technology evolution. Really. I mean, it will revolutionize so many things in our life that we will be amazed and surprised. The blockchain is truly the next evolution that will make a massive impact on our life. So why? I mean, what is the magical thing about it? It has a built-in verification system, which is truly amazing when you think about it. Built-in verification without any human having to interact. See, my phones are going crazy today. Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. Once the blockchain is set up, it is very, very, very difficult to tamper with the verification. What can it give us? It is so many things that can be applied to. Transfer of value, we all know that at this point. Identity, taxes, document, assets, smart contracts, and legal contracts, and so on. There are so many ways to use it. We have not even started about using. We have so many more ways we can deploy it, use it, gain, and be more prepared for the future. The OneCoin blockchain. Oh, blockkedja, Swedish there, all right. Slip up from one of my other presentations, sorry for that. Centralized blockchain. And why the centralized blockchain for the OneCoin? There are a couple of things we need to consider. I mean, actually the goal has always been to become part of the financial market on a global scale. The technology blockchain can be built decentralized and different variations and centralized. The centralized model is not always the most popular choice by people, and I do understand that, truly, because we have all the right reasons, because we feel betrayed by the third party. And in our courts, we know, it's the monetary system It's the central banks and the governments. For so many years, with printing our money, inflation, and the rigged system to basically take what they want from the people. Dr. Ruja, who started this movement, wanted a decentralized blockchain for the OneCoin, cryptocurrency. But the team of experts in finance and legislation soon realized that to be able to be a force to count on, it had to be changed to a centralized blockchain. We have to realize that there are many players in our business world, and we can't bypass the laws of today to achieve success. We have to play by the same rules, but be smart and be powerful with knowledge to reach our goal. So once again, in compliance with the current financial regulations, and I mean, it's pretty smart. They have been one step ahead, or 2 steps, or 3 steps ahead all the time. And for me, that conveys a trust. They know, they can see what's coming, how to prepare for it. Might be frustrating, might take time, might not be the best thing that we wanted, but still, they make it happen. And that you should be very proud of. So once again, Together for More is not just a slogan. If you can realize the bigger perspective and what we are working for. Going further, we have cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is interesting in many, many ways. It's going to change a lot of things in a world. It's going to be a paradigm shift soon, maybe even this year. I think so. And cryptocurrency is a combination of so many things that are really changing our world and systems. And it's a great thing that we are on the road, because we are really moving ahead. And do you think actually what you could do with cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is an investment. It is an asset in many ways. But to be able to do it in a really good way, to really know what you're doing, is actually you must have knowledge, and even about technology. Technology and the blockchain is almost in symbiotic presence. Government-issued cryptocurrency. If you haven't read about it or seen or talked about it with someone, it is coming. No question about it. Sweden is developing it. Many, many countries are developing it. And of course, that can be good maybe. Though I have to say that if they do that, what is going to stop them from continuing the way they are doing already? It's not a conspiracy or anything. They've been in the market with the current system for over 100 years. Even if they want to change, can they? So, don't sit back and wait. Don't just think that it will be well. Because we on this call, or many on this call, we know that if we don't take action, someone else will, and that might not be turning out the best way that we hoped. So this is what's happening today. And why cryptocurrency? As I said before, technology and finance in symbiosis. It will be, and it is. And it's actually a great thing. The brave and intelligent act of Satoshi Nakamoto, who was a person or a team, it's not even known yet, who created the world's first publicly open blockchain with this currency, Bitcoin, made it possible for us to be part of creating the unique blockchain with the currency OneCoin. So don't sit back and wait. You know this now. We have a unique possibility. And don't just listen to me saying this. Read for yourself about the facts of the ecosystem that OneCoin currency is part of. No other currency has this amount of members active in building the foundation for success. No other currency has members, investors active on so many levels of development. So, number one, education, usability, charity, record keeping, compliance. So don't just think it's conspiracy talk all the time. Just read for yourself, find out the facts. Right. Going further, as I said, blockchain is my focus because I really believe we have huge possibilities in the world today for this. We have, of course, cryptocurrency. I talked about that now. And it's going to be a great thing because we have getting rid of the inflation, which was the intention of the first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, in 2009. They were actually fed up with the monetary system. They wanted to do business with each other without inflation, and at that point, without the government involved. Well, it turned kind of bad later, and people have a bad vision of the cryptocurrency because of it. And it's kind of sad. But at the moment, we can only teach people and tell them that, hey, yes, it is called cryptocurrency. Why? Because it's cryptated, not because it's bad. Cryptated means it's safe, all right? The transfer of value, we all know that, and it's actually a good thing. We can transfer value between the nodes in the blockchain in a secure way with verification. It doesn't require humans, but still, it's not an AI. So it probably won't take it over, right? I hope so, at least. We'll see. Secure ledger. That's what blockchain works with. The ledger that is on all the nodes in the blockchain that's verifying transaction or smart contracts or whatever you want to send that is important and confidential and of value. And it does it, once again, without the need for human interaction, but it's not an AI, which I find kind of pleasant. Blockchain. As I said before, it's connected computers that builds it. It has so many usabilities in the world, and it's going to grow. I mean, actually every business is going to use it for something quite soon, and it's already doing that. The one thing I think is very interesting also with the blockchain, as caused the possibilities, is that as we talk, there are developers like myself and other people who are actually building a sub-internet with built-in privacy. And what does that mean, you might ask? It's kind of hard to understand, maybe. And actually, not very difficult in a plain words way. But if you're going to understand it truly, of course, you have to really get into it. Sub-internet. I call it that way because it's actually an internet on the internet, which means it's an internet built on the blockchain. And for that, we have privacy. Doesn't mean anonymity. It doesn't mean it should be bad or criminality. Once again, we're back to integrity and have choose, so we can choose what we want to show or not to show. And I think that's a human right. And that's what I'm going to work with. I mean, possibilities is what we have and what we need, but we have to do something about it. Right. So this is my YouTube channel, Technology for Humanity. It's going to be something building in the future, I think. And let's see where it takes us. I mean, Technology for Humanity is my vision, and that's what it's going to be. And we're going to thank you for being on this One Academy and this holistic learning series, because that's actually what we're doing now. We're doing different types of presentations, different type of topics to learn and to earn and be safe. I mean, we have to know not just one part of the world. As many people say, health without wealth is nothing, for instance. And everything we learn, technology, needs to be in our systems, in our minds, because we are actually dependent on it. We are even in some symbiosis with it. There is a released sort of a report called the Deep Shift, which is actually talking about the probability of the technology development and what is going to come in the future. And symbiosis is quite the good word for it. I'm not going to scare you, but I think, machine, human together, not very far away. But also good things, like printing a liver in 3D, for example. So, once again, thank you for being on. And back to you, Patricia.
Thank you so very much, Michael. I think we need some more. You need some more time. We probably need to have a week of technology or something, because I can tell that there is so much more information that can be gathered.
Yep, that's true.
But quite interesting. um, the information that we have received this morning, and I know the others that are listening can agree with me. One thing I want to find out from you, I heard you say that you said we should take a course. Is it a course that you would be running? And
Yes,
what's the
it
name
will
of
be
that?
available in some form. It is not yet available offline, but it will be available in some form. So I'm working on that. So it will be able to people to be with or contribute it, and even maybe use as themselves, as an interactive course.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Well, we are looking forward to that.
Yes.
And I have a question from the second video. How did they collect the data from the cell phones? Like, how did they? How were they able to pull up all the information that Google collected? Is it a special system they
Thank
have?
you. No, thank you for asking, because I was wanting to get someone to ask that, not just me telling you. Great. Because it's actually, well, of course it's disturbing, and
Yeah.
in many ways, but I will just try to explain it and not make it too hopeless, right? So what they do, of course, you have the Android and the Apple, as you know.
Yes.
When you have an Android phone, which in my previous presentation, I had a guy talking about it who cares about integrity, is a little bit more out of control. Because the Android phone, when I did research and many years discovered that many Android phones, when you start using them, you have to log in with a Google account. So basically, you are using Google when you use an Android. And that's how they get information. I mean, a phone today has a GPS, has a motion tracker, Wi-Fi they didn't turn on, but have every kind of thing they need to track every move you make. I mean, you can have health apps in your phone. You can display your steps or whatever. That's what they use. Not the best way then, but yeah, that's what they use. And even on the iPhone, it isn't totally protected. So, I mean, but there are ways, of course. You just have to skip up Google or do it in different ways. The one thing I always preach, let me say that, the Apple preacher, but still, it is kind of sad sometimes because I know it's very expensive devices. So it's becoming to be a money thing or an equality thing that is not fulfilled, and that's disturbing. Still, the main difference, still today, Apple don't sell your information to someone else.
Okay, great. Yes.
So there are ways to do this and to protect from this and actually reach a point where this is not possible as much as we saw. And it is not very difficult, though it will, of course, it will take some learning, depending on where you are and what level you are in knowledge. But as I said, my vision is to provide knowledge for everyone who wants it. And that has to be in different levels, of course.
That's right, yes. Right, and we are here to receive that knowledge because it's great to know, right? We need to know, it's important to know what's happening, how we're advancing. And another thing that I wanted to find out, the last question, is that 3D organs. I can't seem to wrap my mind around it. Like,
do you know anything about 3D printers?
Yes, I know about 3D printers.
Ah, great, because then you know more than many people actually. Because a 3D printer is actually sort of a printer that we used to on paper, but it can actually build things in 3 dimensions. We have different materials for this, of course, mostly plastic today. But not too long in the future, they are predicting that we actually could print organs.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I understand.
It's kind of mind blowing, I know, but still.
Yeah, because I understand, but well, I mean, so would it be computerized?
Oh, I truly understand your question from my presentation.
That's what I want to know.
That's what you want to know. Well, then we have to do our research and our knowledge. Who is building the liver? We have to get into that space. Who is behind it? Like all critical thinking we have to do today. Who is really presenting? What is the information coming from? Who is building it? What are they doing? What do they want to do with it? But I hope they don't make a liver with any chip in. It's supposed to be a liver, nothing more, you know.
I know, right? I know. Yes.
But sadly, I have to tell you that in Sweden they have started to offer, in quote, marking of chips inside the human for Swedish workers.
Oh my. Wow. Okay.
You can see it in many different ways. I mean, technology can be great. We can achieve so much communication, building, teamwork, everything. It's great. I mean, I'm standing here talking to you. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
So, of course, once again, we have to be careful and be more aware, because this is a reality. It's not the reality I like the most. So let's work on it. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. I'm seeing I have someone hands raised and I have some comments in the chat. Let me allow this person to ask. It's still allow. So you can go right ahead and if you make your comments. Let me see if I can unmute. I can't unmute you, so you can go ahead. Okay, I don't know if that person probably just raised their hands by an arrow. Right, so let me just go to the chat and see what we have. Okay, Noel Emmanuel Jack is saying, hi, Michael, and good day to all. Can you explain what is the API and what is the process to join the new Deal Shaker and One Life platforms? And can you inform us of what is VPN? And we can use it, and can we use it to our advantage? Thank you, great Paul, always looking forward.
Thank you, Noel Emmanuel. That's a great question. It's a good question. Really good question. It's something I wanted to address in the future presentations, actually. I already thought about that. But the API, of course, we can reach that understanding now, hopefully. Because an API, very technical term again, and not many technical people can explain, maybe. API is nothing very complicated. We speak English, right? So we can understand each other. The API is supposed to talk to each other. So DealChecker and One Life has to be able to talk to each other.
Right.
Then you develop sort of a language, quote, quote. It's called API. It's a module. It's a system that makes them able to talk to each other. And the process about it, yeah, that's what they work on. It's development, actually. And of course, that is something really important in every kind of development in technology, because they have to be able to speak to each other. And the promise, of course, now is that when it's in place, we should be able to reach any account on One Life connected to the DealCheck. VPN, that's something I really want to address in a future presentation, because that's actually a bit bigger. But of course, it can benefit us. It has many advantages, but I think we should save that for a later day, because it will take quite some time.
Okay, yes. Okay, well, we'll have to have a segment on that then. That'll be great. Right.
I see some questions about 3D printing here, and we have talked about it. Maybe I can explain a bit more if someone want to know more, or maybe has a hard time grasping it. I know you maybe had some problem with it.
Well, no, it's a bit clearer now. I just probably need to, we need to probe a little, go in a little more to find out if it will be computerized and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But
don't worry too much. You know, I mean, we get the knowledge. That's the most important. You know, so
yes.
I mean, we have a couple of things in the deep shift that also talks about the skills in the future that's needed, and I mean, one of the top one is critical thinking.
Right.
And knowledge. But I mean, 3D printing is actually great. I mean, before they talk about the liver, they are actually talking about 3D printing a car. More understandable, maybe, but it's interesting.
Yes, it is quite interesting. So, right. So that was Maureen Brown was saying, thank you, Michael. I believe in your vision. We are glad to have you in our community. Great presentation. And she asked if you can explain the 3D printing. And then she said, thanks for answering, Michael. I guess it will be somewhat of a cloning process with the 3D printing.
That is not very far from it. It's actually quite correct. Because as you know, everything is computerized. We make drawings, we make sketches, we make even, you know, how to build things, 3D models. And that is what it is. You build a model and you print it sort of. But I mean, we are a bit far from doing like a liver, because that's a very complex thing to do. We human beings are actually very fantastic, amazing creatures. The system we have and we are using, I mean, that's quite well educated and evolutionized, even if you call it technical, because some people think that a human being is only electric signals, but I don't agree.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we have another comment. Oh, no, Noel Emmanuel Jack is saying, great call, Michael. Great hosting, Patricia. Thank you, Noel. Opa is saying, thank you, Michael. CD printers. This is mind blowing. Right? Well, she probably meant to say 3D printers.
Yeah.
3D printers. It really is mind blowing. And in a few, I believe in a few years, we will just be accustomed. We probably know some people who have some 3D organs. Right?
Well, it is quite the possibility, definitely. I mean, there are so many people agreeing on it. So, we are the same here. We're agreeing on one thing. And when many people agree on one thing, it will surely happen.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I have Maureen wanting to make a comment. Maureen, I see a hand raised. You can go ahead. Why is Maureen?
Hi, good morning, everyone. And good day and good afternoon, good evening to everyone outside of the Caribbean and the other zone. As I said before, Michael, a great presentation, and I look forward to the other one coming on the API VPN stuff. I just wanted to basically say I did appreciate the TED Talk, and I really think that guy hit the nail on the head. It all comes back down to us, and it is so good, as I said, to have you in our community, because we need to always come back to the center, which is us, and how far we're planning to go with stuff, and when are we going to just shut down and realize that this is that there's a being bigger than ourselves that does have the answer, and we just need to stay within certain principles, and we wouldn't end up doing funny stuff to ourselves. There's the quantum technology and the nanotechnology.
Yeah, nanotech, yes.
Yeah, would you be able to just explain the two of them quickly? Do you think you can?
Quantum, as you probably aware, is a bigger picture, so that we can talk about the universe almost. So I'm gonna talk that just shortly, because it's very difficult to explain in 1 second, sort of. but the nanotechnology, that's interesting. That's something really, really fascinating that I really enjoy. It's actually, when you break down different components of life, can be materials like carbon, which we were built on, into small, tiny. I mean, you cannot even see them with the visible eye. And you build things with these small, tiny bits. That's the best way I can explain it. I mean, we have a technology company a couple of years ago who built on visible film. You can put it on your window, but you still can see outside, but it's built of carbon, which make it possible to change the color of it. So you can let sun in or put sun outside if you want to get colder. So that's a bit of a nanotechnology, and also, of course, many other applications, but I'm just going to leave you with that example because it's very interesting.
Thank you, Michael.
I hope that answered a bit. Did you?
Yes, I did, because I did. Yes, thanks. Because I know some of these questions will take a presentation, a 45-minute presentation or something, but I just wanted to see if I could get a nutshell of it in a few minutes. So thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome, Maureen. Thank you. Right. Let me just, I saw another comment in the chat, and if there's anyone else that has a comment, you all can raise your hands, or you can simply leave it in the chat. I see Muriel is saying, thank you, great info, Michael. Looking forward to learning from your YouTube channel. Yes, correct. I already made note of that YouTube channel, so I could go take a look. Thank you, Michael, for raising techie topics. This is from Dr. Patricia. That need exploration and further explanation. Much appreciated. We need to dig into these some more with you. The first TED Talks was funny, yet eye-opening and real. I can agree. Noel Emmanuel Jack is saying, can you explain the difference with other blockchain, hash, tech, etc.?
Yes, I can, but not in 5 minutes.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But we have to realize, and also we have to realize who I have become in my life, because I am studying also health a lot and
Okay.
going through research a lot myself. So I am the human tech. So it's important to understand that it's not just technology, but how it will affect us and how we can use it to benefit us. So,
Right.
but the blockchain, hashtag, and all the kind of deep, the ledger is, well, I can go in that also in another presentation because that might be interesting for more people to understand also.
Okay, okay, great, great. But is there like a major difference that you could say, like you can see right away, like
In which question actually? I was losing you there.
the last one there that he's asking
Okay.
to explain blockchain,
Yeah.
hash.
I mean, he's asking many questions in one there, so I have to sort of
Okay.
limit it. But still, of course, the hash to check. Well, if you make it really simple, I think you can say the hash is probably what you can call the cryptography. If you want to sort of put it in easy lay terms, you have to explain more really. But still,
Okay.
I try to explain it for 2 minutes, and 1 minute is the hash is what is meant to understand for the computers to read each other and agree with the ledger and the hashes that's in it to agree that they are the same and that they can verify without human intervention, and then sort of confirm with technology, but with the blockchain, with the nodes, with the hash, that this is correct and verified.
Right. Wow. Okay. Right. So we gave them a little teaser there, and then they will be wanting more information. So we're looking forward to hearing more of that. I have Jude wants to make a comment, so I'm going to allow Jude to talk. Jude, you can go ahead. Okay, while we wait for Jude, I'm going to go over to the Facebook Live as we're streaming live on the OLN Caribbean page and just check out what we have here, the comments. Right. Sorry. Yes. So we have over here, I'm seeing 15 individuals that are viewing this Facebook Live at the moment. And I have some comments. I'm going to check out the comments. Oh, sorry. I don't know why my I'm having, sorry. Right. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Right. So we have Lisa from Barbados with us. One Academite, fantastic morning from Barbados. Then we have Askel. He's saying big hello from Askel in Norway to my friends in Caribbean and my downlines who actually pay attention to these excellent calls. We have Monica saying hello from Norway. Paul Basil is saying wow from Nigeria. And Lena is saying thanks, Michael Lindback. And they I know that they are so excited. You could just see, feel the excitement. I see all the love and the hearts going up there as the presentation is being carried on. We now have 17 individuals viewing on our Facebook Live. So guys, if you can't make it on the Zoom, let me just say, you can share the Facebook Live with your contacts. I know some people don't have Zoom, the Zoom app, but you can tune into our OLN Caribbean page so that you can hear the presentation from there. They're all recorded, so you can go back and listen. You can share it how many ever times you want to. You can look at it as much times you want. So feel free to do that.
Patricia, can I give a final comment?
Sure.
Sure, thank you. Because I just realized I might missed out on something that makes it more hopeful in this world. Because one thing that is really interesting is there are many people around the world like myself who is developing apps, programs, software that is going to be or is already being easier to use to be more private. So don't be discouraged by the very harsh reality on the other hand, but also think that there is actually people working for free. These are not, you have to pay for these, just learn to use them and sort of quite well. So that's the possibility.
Right. Wow. Okay. Great point. Thank you for that. Could we have another comment? Hi, everyone. This is great. I'm going to ask if anyone else has a comment I see we have our diamond leaders, Ivan and Michelle, on the call. I don't know if they would like to jump in because we're about to close this call. It's 7:02 a.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to invite Ivan and Michelle. Yes.
Morning, Axel. Morning to the international community, to the local community, and of course to the Caribbean community. And these are just some of the things that actually are real, and it is mind-blowing to see where technology has come and where technology is going. But in fact is, it is just like cryptocurrency. It's going to happen with or without us. So it is very noteworthy that we're supposed to know these things and keep it in perspective that this is a new world, and we have to learn about it. We have to be educated, and we have to now change and develop in order to really capitalize on it. So when we do these Zoom calls and we do this holistic learning, what it does is that it prepares us for what is and what is to come. And this One Academy has more or less morphed into something and really advanced into something that will help a lot of people. Again, Axel, thank you. I just love Axel for one reason, because he's an Apple guy, and so I am just kind of biased. Michael, sorry. I just, because of that, I have a kind of bias to it, but the technology, the technology that is there and surrounding us, especially with the devices that we use daily, and some of the things that really the devices do really is amazing, and really now could be harmful to us, as well as it could really help us, and knowing about it really determines how you utilize it and the extent that you go to. All right, so I just want to say that the One Academy, the holistic learning series that we are doing, should be extended to a lot of people. We're supposed to invite more people on it, because it just opens our eyes to the worlds around us. So what I want to say is thank you again, Michael. Great presentation here. Also, Patricia.
Yes.
Fantastic posting. You make it so interactive. It is just like you're just doing this normal. So I want to hats off to you, hats off to Michael, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Of course, for open house.
Oh yes.
Where everyone comes in and we have this collaboration of ideas and everything coming in and thoughts. Okay, so top of the morning to you. The week has already ended. I hope that everyone had a fantastic week, and that we look forward to the weekends, of course, for our Super TED series and everything on Saturday. So invite people on these calls. Let's get the world on it, and let's get people freed and let them understand what is happening. All right, so top of the morning to everyone. We love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Ivan. Thank you, and Ivan and Michelle. Thank you. Yes, so we're gonna bring this call to an end. Michael, I thank you very, very, very much, and we're definitely looking forward. People, please check out Michael's YouTube page so that you can get further information. He said you can message him on WhatsApp. His number is posted there. He is actually in our groups. So please connect with Michael. He gave us the liberty to connect with him, to ask him any questions that we may have. So take the opportunity that you have at hand. Thank you so much for everyone who is on this call and who makes this call a success every day. Michael, we thank you. A heartfelt thank you to you. And see you guys tomorrow. Please don't miss it. We'll have Mrs. Patrice, James, and Maureen Brown taking over the call tomorrow. So we're not going to let out any secrets. So just be on the call so you wouldn't miss out any information. One's out.